Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it took me a while to make another video, but we are back with another spell making video, and this one is going to be on the left hand side of things. So this is a left hand work, so that means it is on the cursing, hexing, negative side of the spectrum. This is not necessarily a breakup spell, but it's more of to disconnect two people, to ensure that they are going to lose their connection with each other. So before we get into this spell, I just want to share a couple of thoughts about this. So this is an actual spell that I am going to do for a certain person. So this is a client, this is a spell for a client. And the idea is, before you do this kind of spells, make sure that you are divinely guided, right? So make sure that you asked your spirits, you asked your ancestors, you asked whoever deity you are working with. Ask them if this is the best recourse, if this is the best course of action. And like for me, this should be like the last resort for these kinds of situations. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do these kinds of spells. It's just that, you know, if you are going to do this kind of spell, make sure that you have exhausted all of your resources. You make sure that you have exhausted every single possibilities out there before going straight for this kind of action. Of course, these kinds of spells they work best they work best if they are justified. So of course this has to be justified. Again, that's why it is important for us to do divination beforehand. Before doing this spell, it's important for us to know if our spirits, or if the spirit, or if our ancestors are okay with us doing this kind of spell. And if they are not, then maybe we should try something else, instead of going straight for this, this specific kind of spell. Why do we need to do divination? It's because, sometimes the people or our targets are protected. It's not just sometimes, all of us are protected, right? So every single person in this planet have their own set of ancestors. So you have an ancestors, I have my ancestors. Every single one has their own set of ancestors. And our ancestors always work on guiding and protecting us. They are the ones responsible for blessing us, right? So if we are going to, for example, if we are going to do a specific work for a specific target, that target is protected by their ancestors. Sometimes our ancestors, or okay, so this is the power of our ancestors lies within our ability to feed them, right? So if we constantly honor them, if we feed them, if we communicate with them constantly or regularly, then our ancestors will become more powerful. They will become, or they will, they will become more fed. So if they are more fed, then they would give us a lot more blessings and a lot more protection. So therefore, if you are going to do a specific spell for your specific target, if your target is very protected by their ancestors and their ancestors are well fed, then there is a chance that their ancestors will just send it back to you. Whatever it is that you are trying to send them, there is a chance that their ancestors will just gobble it all up and send it back to you. So we don't want that to happen. So we should at least, you know, try to think about it first. Communicate with our ancestors, ask them if this is the best recourse, if this is really what you should do, if there are other solutions to your problems, and if, you know, if they give you the go signal to do whatever spell work you are planning to do, then go ahead. Like, go ahead, do it. But if your ancestors are like, okay, no, you should think about it because, and I'm saying, like, it might not turn out the way that you want it to. If they are like that, then, you know, maybe you should heed their warning, or you should heed their advice. So anyway, we are going straight to the spell now. So for this one, since there are 2 targets, and the idea is to make sure that these people, they will leave each other alone, right? So one person is really like, they both like each other, but since my client wants, you know, their target to leave that other person alone, we are going to do this spell for them. And the idea, the goal that we are trying to achieve is for both of them to just separate. Like, they have to go their separate ways. They have to leave each other alone. They should never talk again. They should just stop whatever communication, whatever connection they have between them. We are going to cut it. We are going to sever it. We're going to banish the other person so that they would never have to talk again. So that is what we are going to do. If you are going to ask, yes, this is, I have already asked my ancestors before, or I have already consulted the spirits on what to do about this case, this situation, and yeah, okay. So the things that you will need for this work, if in case you decide to recreate it, you would need 2 black candles. So 2 black candles, asafoetida. So this is also called devil's dung. It kind of has this very, very pungent smell, and it's very good for banishing. So that is, or this is asafoetida powder. The next one is alum. So this is alum powder. Alum powder is really good for cutting communication, for puckering someone's lips up, to stop someone from talking. So in this case, we are going to use it to stop them from communicating with each other. The next one is, okay. So the next one is black pepper. Okay, so just gonna show. Okay, so black pepper, I guess this is one common herb that you can use, and this is also going to serve as a banishing herb for us. So we are going to banish their relationship. We are going to cut their relationship for them to stop communicating with each other, and for them to just, you know, leave each other alone. Yeah. And the last one are lemon slices. So, oh, sorry. These are actually lime slices. So, the last one are lime slices. Why lime? Because lime is dissolving. So, we are going to use lime slices because we are going to dissolve the connection that they have for each other. So, that's what the lime slices are for. And then, of course, you would need a pen, a black pen, and a piece of paper. So, a piece of paper like this, or if you have parchment paper, or if you don't have any of that, just use brown paper bag. A piece of a brown paper bag, that would be enough. So, common questions. What if I don't have one of the ingredients? It's fine. It's okay. If you don't have asafoetida, if you don't have lemon, if you don't have lime rather, if you don't have alum, it's fine. It's okay. You just have to, 90%, or I'm going to say 80% of your spell relies on your intention. And then we are also going to use this oil. This is the fuckery oil. So this is the fuckery oil. I made this oil. This is sold in the House of Conjure. So if this oil is for fucking up a person or a situation. So if you want someone to just everything to break down in that person's life, that's like, this is the oil for that. I am going to use this oil specifically to break down their relationship, their connection, and their communication. So that is what the fuckery oil is for. So if you want to order fuckery oil, you can send me a message on Instagram at House of Conjure 1. So I'm going to leave the link of my Instagram account below on the description box. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's get into the spell. So the first thing that we are going to do, or at least the first thing that I did, was I wrote down the names of the targets, or the name of the two people that we are going to separate. So I wrote them in two separate pieces of paper, and I am going to set them aside while I work on their candles. So the first thing that we are going to do, so the first thing that we are going to do is that we are going to anoint the candles with fuckery oil. So since we want to banish, we want them to leave each other, we want them to never be together again, we are going to dress the candle downward, like from the wick moving down. So while we are doing this, we are going to think about them losing their connection, losing the love that they have for each other, their communication. They are never going to communicate ever again. They will never talk ever again because they are not for each other. And then the other candle. Okay, so the next one, we are going to put some asafoetida in this table. Actually, it's a piece of paper, but I'm just going to roll this candle onto the asafoetida, or the devil's dung. And then that's done. I'm just gonna set it aside here. This asafoetida is actually a really good spice. Like, it's really good if you like were to mix it with food, but it's also really great for banishing. That's why we are using it. Okay? Okay. So, for the next one, we are going to add the alum powder. So what I have is alum powder. If you don't have alum powder, then you can just crush the alum powder that you have. Okay, so that's about it. Like, this is enough. And then I am going to, again, roll my candle onto this, the alum powder. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, so there you go. I forgot to mention earlier, but every time that you are going to use an herb, it would be great if you are going to pray over that herb or whatever it is that you are using, just to awaken and empower whatever it is, whatever ingredient you are using for this spell. Okay, so now we are going to stick the candles onto, first you are going to put the name papers that you have written, and you are going to put it on the opposite sides of the plate. So you have to make sure that there is enough space between them. Like, you cannot put them near each other. It has to be like a couple of inches apart. So like for like here, this is like 5. I'm going to put them like 4 or 5 inches apart, because we are going to put something between their candles and their name papers. So for this one, so for example, this one, you are going to put the name paper of the first target on the other side, and the name paper of the other target on the opposite side. And then you are going to stick the candle on top of the name paper. So hopefully it is going to stick real quick. Okay. Alright, so once you are done sticking them onto the plate, what you are going to do is you are going to create this like river between them using the materials that you have. So I am going to place 3 lemon slices between them. Okay, I'm going to place 3 lemon slices between them. The next is the black pepper. So just get some black pepper and then sprinkle it between them, or between their candles. There we go. Okay, so I'm also going to put alum powder between them as well, because we want to make sure that every time they do communicate, there would always be something wrong. Like there would always be miscommunication between them. Their communication would always be hard. They would never be able to communicate properly. They will a lot of problems will arise because of their communication. And then lastly, the asafoetida. We're just going to sprinkle some asafoetida between them. Okay. And okay, so the last thing that you need to do is to light the candles up. Just going to light it up. It would be best if you are going to put the candles somewhere open, because it might start smelling a little, you know, pungent. Okay, so one thing that I also should mention, which I forgot to mention earlier, this is something that you have to work on for 3 days. So for the first day, there would be this space between them, and then on the second day, you are, or at least after praying over the candle, after you let it burn for a while, you are going to pinch the flames out, and then reserve it for the next day. So the next day, you are going to move them a little more apart. So you are going to make them go a little further apart again, so for the following day. And that is because we want them to continuously feel more distant from each other. We want them to feel like they are moving further away from each other. So for today, there would be this kind of space between them. Tomorrow, I am going to move them a little further apart, a little further from each other, and on the third day, they will be a lot more further from each other, like really far on the edge of the plate. Once the spell is done, you can throw away whatever is left in the plate somewhere far from your property. So you can throw it in a river, you can throw it in a crossroads to employ the help of spirits. You can throw it, or you can bury it beneath a tree, or you can just throw it somewhere far, like somewhere really far from where you live, because you don't want this energy to stay within your area or within your property. That's about it. That's the whole spell. It's actually quite quick. The idea is we want this to work as fast as possible. We want it to happen as soon as possible. So if you have any questions, you can send me a message on Instagram. I will put the link to my Instagram below on the description. Also, if you are looking for spell work, if you want to get spell work done, you can also send me a message on Instagram or send me an email. I will also leave my address, or my email address, on the description box below. So that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want a specific kind of video, don't hesitate to leave a comment on what kind of video you want to watch next. And for those who are new here, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so that you will get notified the next time I post another video. Again, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.